If you've got neck pain, grab yourself a massage ball and join in with me on this self-massage and let's get it fixed. So I'm going to be I'm going to be doing most of this stuff down on the ground. And a lot of neck pain actually comes from the muscles in your shoulders, in your upper back. So I'm going to start there. And all I'm doing, you won't be able to see it when I'm down on the ground, but I'm just putting the massage ball along this area here, and then eventually I'll come and move up to here. And it's really just about, finding the spot where you can get the good angle. And so the reason I'm doing this today is because yesterday I started to feel that my neck was really hurting, turning to one direction. I was getting limited range of motion. And so you just start on one side. Obviously, if you've got pain on one side of the neck, that's the side you'll focus on. But I still like to do both sides. No matter what. And then when you find a spot, all I'm doing, these minor adjustments, I'm just moving the ball until I find a spot that feels really sore. And there we go, I've got one. And then once you find that spot, the goal is to try and get as much weight into the ball as possible and hold it for about 10 seconds until you get a bit of a release. And it's pretty hectic. When you get the right spot, there we go, there's another one. And then once you feel that spot, you want to try and get up. So what I'm doing is, because when I lift my weight off when I lift my body off the ground like that, it puts all the weight into where the ball is, which is the goal. But when you start, you probably won't be able to handle as much weight in the ball as I can. When I started doing all this stuff years ago now, I could barely handle just laying on the ball like what I'm doing here. But what I'm doing is, if I've got the ball here, then I'm just trying to maneuver my body until I find the angle where I can push my body down into the ball more directly. Because if you think about it, it's like somebody giving you a massage. If they're pushing across your skin like that, you don't really get as much. But if they're pushing down into you, that's when you really get, the result that you're looking for. And so I'm just moving around. Now I'm getting up a little bit more into these muscles up here, so the upper trapezius and the Lavada scapula. And you've got to get a little bit more creative with the angles here. So you can see, of course you can't see exactly where I'm putting the ball, but you can see the basics of what I'm doing. I can probably zoom in a bit with the camera, can't I? And then when you find that spot where you feel that kind of a sensation, that's when you give it a bit more. Come this way. And in my experience, so much of neck pain can be dealt with good trigger point release like this, because what you're doing is you're sending a signal through the nervous system that is stronger than the pain and discomfort that it's feeling, and it basically just tells the nervous system that it's okay to feel this pain and discomfort, and the nervous system just releases the muscles. And that's why you get that release, where you feel like, before you have a massage or before you do some trigger point release like this, that it feels really sore, and then afterwards you're like, oh wow, I can move. That's what's gone on. It's just that the nervous system, so now I'm changing sides, that the nervous system has gone, okay, I can let go of these muscles and give a bit of a release here. So this is actually the sore side. So I started on the side that wasn't as sore. Look for those spots that are sore. Sometimes, like on the sore side for me here, there's obviously a lot more of the muscles that feel tight. It takes my breath away when I get a good spot to get into, which feels like I've got a couple here. Oh. it's funny because I know that when you watch a video like this, I remember for me in my earlier stages of learning trigger point release, and I would see, back then there wasn't any good YouTube videos on this stuff. I used to learn from people in person, and physiotherapists and chiropractors, and I'd ask them, what spot am I pressing? What muscle is it? And I was getting my notebook out, and their answers were always really vague. It was always, you just kind of push around this area or around this area. But the truth is, that's what you're doing. I'm not thinking of the specific muscle that I'm trying to find. I'm not thinking I'm looking for my lower trapezius here, or I'm trying to get into the rhomboids. I'm just finding the general area, because all of the muscles back here because everything's connected, everything's connected. All the fascia, is interconnected. And so the, just by going in the general area where these muscles will all affect your neck, and you just find the spot. Oh, here we go. Here's another one where it feels really tight, and you just look for these releases. And just in doing that, periodically, look, a stitch in time always saves 9. So if you do this before it gets bad enough, in my experience, I find that I used to have to go to the chiropractor a lot. And what's going on in my back and my neck, like when you look at x-rays, it hasn't gotten better. But what's happened is I've learned how to deal with it better. And so I don't have to go as much anymore, because I manage my body more with things like this. And so this is, I'm doing this on Sunday. I always do these videos on Sunday as like my recovery day video, because I don't actually do a workout on Sunday. And so I just use the time to just spend a little bit more time doing like trigger point release, because I don't normally spend this much time every day. And I find that even just doing that, where I just do it once a week, it's enough to really, keep any issues. Whoops, I'm getting out of the camera, aren't I? It's enough to really keep any issues from getting too bad. And you can see here how I'm twisting onto this one side. And then this one here, so the Lavada scapula down here, so you can just get the ball and you get in a door frame like this and just push in like that. Oh man, that's intense, that one. And you can just, like even the minor 1 inch change of position, can really give you a different spot there. Oh man, this is really hectic for me, these muscles here. It's quite intense. So I just do 3 spots where I'm like one spot would be here, one here, one here, And this one you really, oh man, there it is. You really know whether you're doing it on the right spot or not, because you'll kind of be like, oh, is that the right spot? And then you'll move a bit and it's just like agony, like you feel like it really takes my breath away, and I can't hold it for more than about 10 seconds. And last one. Oh, woo! Oh, but you know what? My neck feels heaps better now.